Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Johnny. In my last video, I introduced this Unimus network automation tool, configuration backup tool, and also change management tool. So I had 2 videos to show you how to install it with local deployment, also with remote free MS SQL database, plus some features. In this video, I'm gonna continue to show you some advanced features such LDAP authentication, configuration search export, remote core deployment for the distribution installation. If we get enough time, we'll talk about the new object access policies, compliance reporting, and new custom backup flows. Now let's jump into it. The topology is same as before. We have local deployment Unimus server on the Windows 2019 servers. We have a domain controller 192.168.2.14, which we're gonna integrate it LDAP. So we can use LDAP users to log in. We will see how that configuration looks like. We have another network on 192.168.111, this network. We're gonna deploy remote core into a Linux box, which we can use to manage remote devices. You also can see I am using Microsoft SQL database in the cloud. So my Unimus server here directly connect to this MS SQL database. Some other devices here on local or on another network, which you can use as an example to how to discover those devices, how to manage it, and schedule backup it. So that's a basic topology. Previously, I already logged in with my local admin account, so we can do same. Soon we're gonna integrate it with LDAP, then we can use LDAP to log in. To configure LDAP, you will need to go to Settings, User Management, LDAP Configuration. You will need to put into LDAP server address, which is basic IP address, should be enough here based on our topology. That's 192.168.2.14. LDAP access user DN and also LDAP base DN, which is a little bit tricky to find out, but I will show you in this video. I have 192.168.2.14 running in a virtual machine. You will need to get the Active Directory users and the computers. This is our domain controller. You can go to Windows Administrative Tools, Users and the Computers. Once you have that opened, you may want to enable advanced features from View menu. We are going to find out an OU which we can use to log into our Unimus. So I have a test OU and the users OU and IT OU here. I'm going to configure this IT OU as the base OU to be able to log into Unimus. So all users inside of this OU will be able to log into Unimus basically. And admin one will be the one user to connect in from Unimus to my domain controller, which has the ability to query the users from our domain controller. How we can get the DN distinguished name? Since we enabled the advanced feature, this will be simple. We will just go to the properties for the account. You go to Attribute Editor, scroll down to distinguish the name, and then copy whole information. This is a DN name, distinguish the name, which we're gonna use in our Unimus configuration. Of course, you need a password for it. For this lab, we don't want to use LDAP as yet because it's a certificate part, which is gonna need more extra steps to get that done. For demo purpose, we're just using LDAP. LDAP base DN is for the user searching, which is the OU. We're gonna search the user from that OU. Let's go back to our domain controller. That's the IT, this OU. We're gonna search the user from here. Same thing, you can get distinguished name. Copy it out. You're gonna put into here. Here is the tricky part, user identifier. So we're gonna use same account name as the user identifier. After you did all those, make sure you enable LDAP and save it. You can put the LDAP filter here as well. For demo purpose, we just need to keep it empty so we can search the whole OU. After this step down, you can show test it out. For example, I'm gonna use admin1 here. Based on all this testing, it works. After you configure the LDAP, then you need to add the users. Go to the top of this page, add one user. So you need to add users in. So I'm gonna use an admin1. So you need to keep the same name, and don't forget using the LDAP authentication. You don't need to put the password in, and here is a role you want to put in there. And of course, you can choose object access policy. We didn't touch that part. We will change it later on, and it's okay. So we configure the admin1. Now let's test it out. Put the password in. This is our domain user password. Login. Perfect. We logged in as our admin1 user using the LDAP account. LDAP authentication configured, simple and easy. Since we are talking about the user access, we may want to try object access policies here. This also can be done from user management list page settings. As you can see, since I'm only read user, that read permission, I won't be able to access this page. I'm gonna switch to local admin account, admin. I'm gonna create a new user called admin2, which also using LDAP account, but I'm gonna give operator access. Object access policy is on the user management list page. Right now, by default, you have all object the policy. You have no object policy. You can create a new one, new policy, but before we doing that, we need to tagging it. Object access policy is more flexible if you are using tags and tag your device properly. So we have to do the tagging. Let's add a couple of taggings. So for example, I add a switch as one of the tagging, and also firewall as one of the taggings. Then we have to tag our devices using those tagging. This is our switch, Cisco switch. So we put tags here. Give a tag. Confirm. So you see the tagging icon at the end of this device. Other two, Fortinet and Palo Alto, they are firewalls. So let's do tagging as well, one by one. Confirm. After we finish the tagging, we can come back to the user management page, object access policies. So now we can add a switch access policy, base access, or object with tag exceptions. Let's choose this one. Access policy created, but we need to configure for it. So available tags is switch. Let's remove firewall. This will be an exception, so we only have switch here. Save. Same thing, we're gonna create a firewall access policy. So this is our firewall policy. We'll keep it here. We will remove switch tags to the exception. Add to exception. Save. Please notice here, there's no account associated with those object access policy. So we have to configure our account to use those policies. So to do that, just select the account, manage permission, and you will see object access policy. Right now is all object. Let's move to switch. Okay. And admin 2, we're gonna give firewall access. Perfect. Let's log out and take a look. Let's try admin 2. We logged in. Let's look at devices. We're only able to see the firewalls because based on access policy, admin 2 has associated with firewall access policy. And admin 1 will be only able to see switch policy. Only one switch showing here. In the new version, the configuration search, export, and send functionality has been enhanced a lot. You should be able to see the configuration search, this menu, and click on it. Let's search a bunch of VLANs, so you will see all configuration. After that, you can export it out by HTML. You can download the file, and then you can send the file to email, send the file to Slack channel. Those are very helpful features if you need to download it and share with someone, or you want to open it from different program. Same thing, you can do that from backups as well. Go to the backups page. You will find out all devices you have backed up. You can view it. You can export it. You can download the file and send the file to email once you have that configuration. Slack channel, send to it. Also, you need the configuration. Nice functions if you are looking for manage your configuration better and search your configuration better. I won't go there since the video time is limited. I don't want to get the video too long. I will focus on other features. Those are very straightforward things you can do. One last thing I want to cover in this video is remote core deployment. As I presented in the topology, we have a separate network which you were not able to direct manage or discover a device using your Unimus deployment. You need to have a remote core to manage your remote network. So we're going to deploy that. I have server installed Linux on it and just need to log in. Log in as root. Unimus has a good documentation to show you how to install Unimus and the Unimus core. So you will find the Unimus and Unimus core and the download page. Choose Unimus core here, and you will see Linux installers, Windows installer, or other platforms. We are using Ubuntu, so you can directly click on it. Oh, here's the command. Just throw them into your configuration. So that's how simple it is. Just copy paste in, and then you can start installing. They will check all dependencies. They will do apt update for you. It might take a while, but it will get you there. So while it's working, there's a one step we need to do. We need to get the access key from our Unimus server. How we get that? Let's go back to our Unimus web UI. It's called zones. So by default, you have default zone 0, which is built in. I have all devices in there, but you can add a new zone. Let's call it remote 1. That's my zone name. And description, you can put anything. You can put an IP address. So you know which remote zone it is. Zone ID, since we use the zone 0, I'm gonna start with zone 1. And the connection method, there's two ways, embedded or remote core. We are using remote core. So confirm for that. So new zone gonna be created. Expand it, you will see remote call access key. And also you can apply tags, and if you have device there, you will show the device, how many devices found in there. So right now let's get the key here, since we're gonna use it very soon in our deployment. I'm gonna paste my key here for next step. So it's installing the Java right now, since they didn't find Java version on the local Linux server. I will pause the video to wait this step down, since it takes a couple minutes. Perfect. Now it's in the step Unimus server address. So where is your server located? Basically, they're asking what's your server IP. Based on our web UI, you will see the server IP 2.149. So that's what we need to put in there. Default port 5509. There's one thing you need to remember, because by default Windows has firewall on it. You might need to open firewall port, or you may need to disable your firewall to allow this 5509 port inbound coming. So basically allow your remote call to connect to your Unimus. Here is a Unimus server access key. So let's put in here. One thing we want to double check. Right now you see call status is offline. So we should be able to see online once we connect to it. Perfect. The call should now be installed and starting. Let's go back to our Unimus. Perfect. You see it shows online. It doesn't show the remote call IP because there's an NAT. So remote call is using 192.168.111, that IP address. But when they connect back to 192.168.2 network, they did NAT and they changed it to this IP, that's NAT address. So I just want to make sure that. So now you should be able to starting to discover device in the remote network as we do for the local. Here is the network scan. Add preset. Name 192.168.111.x. Automatically added. Schedule this scan. Schedule at 3 AM. Then you need to select zones. And then select network. Save it. From now on, every day 3 AM, then you should be able to scan the remote network. You should be able to automatically add your new discovered device into your Unimus for your management. So that's all for this video. I hope you like it. If you do, give me a thumb up and subscribe my channel to support me. Thank you for watching. See you in my next one.